In a striking and candid exchange, Russian President Vladimir Putin laid bare his thoughts on escalating global tensions, reflecting on history, resilience, and Russia's unwavering commitment to protecting its sovereignty. The interview, conducted by journalist Pavel Zarubin and shared on Zarubin's Telegram channel, offered an unfiltered glimpse into the mindset of the Russian leader amidst rising geopolitical stakes. Asked about the possibility of World War III, Putin dismissed alarmist rhetoric, but acknowledged the growing dangers driven by adversaries escalating the situation.
There is no need to frighten anyone. There are many dangers. They are increasing. And we see what our opponent is doing today. He is escalating the situation. If this is what they want, let them have a bad life. Let them continue to escalate. We will always respond to any challenge, always. And when our current opponents, potential partners, hear this, understand it, realize it, I think then they will realize that they need to look for, as was said during the press conference and in direct communication, to look for compromises. We are ready to look for these compromises, but without harming our interests.
Highlighting the intensifying global confrontation, Putin directed sharp criticism at the Biden administration's strategy. He suggested the U.S., quote, "S military aid to Ukraine appeared driven by personal motives rather than strategic foresight."
Is it possible, after they have already buried Russian-American relations in the deepest pit, to somehow get out of this at all? You can do anything if you have a desire. We have never lost this desire. No matter how the story unfolds, it always acquires new outlines depending on the changes in the situation.
For Putin, the past serves as a roadmap for resilience. Drawing parallels with Russia's recovery from the 19th century Crimean War, he reflected on the country's ability to rebuild its strength despite Western-imposed restrictions.
Let us recall the 19th century. After the so-called Crimean War in 1855-1856, when a number of restrictions were imposed on Russia, many people in the West wrote and said that Russia did not notice and should have reacted to some injustices in the world. Russia does not notice this. It isolates itself, and this was blamed on it. Gradually, as Russia concentrated, it regained all its rights in the Black Sea and strengthened itself, and so on and so forth. Back then, as I have already said, some historians and specialists call this Crimean War the First World War. Then there was the First World War, and then the Second World War. In this First World War, almost all European countries took part in the war against Russia. In spite of all this, the situation has changed, and the First World War has come, and the countries that fought against us have become our allies. But this is not the point. The point is that everything is changing. Only the interests of Russia and its people remain unchanged.
Against the backdrop of the Ukraine conflict, Putin reaffirmed Russia's steadfast resolve. While open to dialogue and compromise, he stressed that these efforts would not come at the expense of Russia's national interests. This principle, he underlined, remains the bedrock of Moscow's approach to international relations. The interview reached a high point when Putin spoke about the revolutionary Oreshnik missile system. He hailed its development as a landmark achievement in space rocket technology, symbolizing Russia's strategic innovation and defense capabilities.
Oreshnik is not an event of the year. It is a historical event in the space rocket field. Nothing like this has ever happened. This is the first time it has happened with such a type of weaponry. How deeply? Yes, but quite deeply.
The creation of Oreshnik was a testament to Russia's ability to innovate under pressure. Putin revealed that, despite internal debates within the Ministry of Defense, He personally championed the project, ensuring resources were allocated and endorsing its testing in combat conditions. The interview showcased Putin's vision for a Russia that actively shapes its destiny, unyielding in the face of challenges. It served as a reminder of Moscow's historical resilience and a declaration of its future ambitions, leaving no doubt about the country's readiness to respond to global shifts.